Now we should be ready. Are you ready? Is it ready? Are we doing it?
Okay, kids.
Prepped.
Let's go.
Prepped. We're prepped.
There has been an awakening.
Star Wars.
Have you felt it?
Hello, what have we here?
You guys are so funny.
Hello. This represents how I feel about Star
Holy
Wars.
shit. It ain't C3 penis face and R2 dickhead.
That's what I think of it.
Looking? Found someone you have, I would say.
May the force be with us. Fucking A.
Hi.
I really need the Force to be with me on this one.
Salutations to you and yours.
Good day, Galaxy. What's up? I was looking here, but you're there. Hi. We watched The Acolyte, and we're supposed to talk about it now. I think the IMDb rating went down another 0.1 stars since the time we started the show.
Yeah.
I have it open, and it's lower. Keeps lowering. Makes me sad.
Yeah. It's a sad time. I don't know.
It's a dark time.
You know-
the Empire.
I like to separate us from just haters because if you do enjoy it, I'm not going to shit on you, and I want to be you.
I want to be in you.
But, you know, I know Star Wars isn't for everybody, but I'm feeling like the outcast several of the times, you know? Like, well, you know, this one's not meant for me, and the last 4 were not meant for me. The next 4 aren't meant for me, and, you know, you're like, well, at least there's 20-year-old video games I can play.
Exactly. Oh, jeez. It's
well-
rare. It's rare that I'm in agreement with the ridiculous onslaught of hate that typically surrounds a new Star Wars project. And not to
Yeah.
say I absolutely hate this, because I don't. We'll talk about it. But I'm usually the one looking at like the YouTube homepage after a new show and being like, ugh, these guys are stupid. This show's great. They're just forgetting blah, blah, blah. But
Yeah.
this time I'm in alignment with the dark side, and it's pretty weird.
Yeah, I mean, all of that, you know, we're only 2 episodes in, so
What?
You gotta take a long look in the mirror.
it was a long 2 episodes, though. Here, I'll give you
It's a long 2 episodes.
I'll give you a little insight here.
I want to see it. I want to talk about it.
I just Googled the Acolyte episodes and asked for like I came up with an episode guide. This is the extent of the episode guide. Episode 1. After a crime in the distant reaches of the galaxy, the Jedi Order track down a prime suspect. That's it.
That's just pulled right from the Disney Plus thing.
Still.
But they're all like, they do
Still.
that so there's no spoilers or
Still.
anything.
You can't even expound on that.
But every single episode of the Mando is the same thing. It was like Mandalorian and the Child, look for this.
Yeah.
But even Andor, Cassian has to hunt down Saw Gerrera. That's it. It's because they don't want to give anything away in the
I
description.
get it. But I can't add anything after a 60-minute sit down and watching that episode.
Oh, I see what you mean.
I can't add anything
You're
to that
going the other
synopsis.
way, dude.
Reading that sentence is just as good as watching an hour-long episode. That's my issue. I know a lot of shows have like a general, this is what's gonna kind of happen, and then it's a jump launching point.
really mad now.
Episode 2. An assassin strikes again on a far-flung world. This time, the investigating Jedi team is there to attempt to capture. Yeah, things they took a little step in the right. Like, things started happening in the second one. I'm still not vested, but like, stuff happened. They're tracking down.
Certain things did happen.
You know,
Stuff was on screen. I'll say that.
I think the glaring thing for me is they laid out so much opportunity for like suspense and thriller stuff and just like who's playing what side, and you already see a little bit of the faults, pretty much only through dialogue, unfortunately, but of the Jedi, where they're just like holier than thou, they can't be defeated, and then now nobody's
Space
defeating
cops.
them. So that's like the whole purpose for this whole thing. Nobody's murdering people that shouldn't be able to be murdered. And it's like, okay, decent. The whole lack of emotion on both sides So let me run into the first battle.
Give it to me, dude.
I'm here to kill you. No, you're not. Fight.
Kill.
I died.
Yeah.
I didn't see struggle. I didn't see like anger from May. I didn't see like even like a stoic, like she just was just like fighting a statue. May was fighting a Jedi statue and won. And like the little sprinkle of like she threatened, a civilian, and that's how she did it. It's like, okay, how Batman of you. Right. Like Batman and Joker of you.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
That's some dark side goodness.
Yeah, like it's something's almost there. But like, I think the other thing that pushes me away, and it's more personal on my end. I've never really liked the kung fu stuff. I've never really connected with like the Kill Bills.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, and that's more on me. I think it's an interesting fight style. I don't love it in Star Wars. It's different, and that's where I kind of leave it. I'm not
looks
like,
cool. Yeah.
I don't know. It's. I know it's like 100 years before. It's not supposed to be flashy and fucking crazy. I like the idea of it better than the execution.
Well, the martial arts were a little flashy, I feel. Like they were kind of flashy. It was just hand-to-hand flashy, not lightsaber flashy.
Yeah. I don't know. It's me. I don't. The hand-to-hand combat is like slow, and I don't. The other thing that I had mentioned to another friend of ours is the lack of editing and special effects. I feel like they've swung so far the other way, where people are like, everything's got to be practical, and now they're so far in this corner where everything is fucking practical, and it's like half this scene could have looked a little better because it's 2024, but you made it practical because people yelled about being practical from 1999.
They want the puppets.
They want the puppets.
Yeah.
I don't want the puppets.
I want some puppets.
I don't want the puppets.
I want a couple puppets.
I don't want the puppets ever. I'm not joking. Like Yoda might be.
You heard it here first. No more puppets.
Yoda might be.
Hey, please, no more puppets. Kathy, please, no more puppets. I don't want to see them anymore. Execute.
I like the puppets. I think it has to be a good balance.
I don't. I think there's like very few exceptions. Like the Yoda in episode 9. I'm okay with it. He was a puppet.
Episode 8, you mean?
8 and 9. Was he only in 8? I thought he came back in. What did he do the lightning thing in 8? And and burned it down. So
yeah.
8 is what I'm. Like that's okay. I'm fine with it. I'm not mad at that. But to just like, here's a group of fucking Muppets, and they're all Jedi, and you're like, I can see the people's wrists under the fucking puppets.
Somebody in our group chat said it looked like Star Trek. Because like the
that's
the first Padawan that shows up on the prison ship or whatever, or on the Neimoidian ship.
Yeah.
That young Padawan that has like a humanoid but whatever. And then the Jedi Master who's just in green.
Yeah, it's just
and then
green.
The other Padawan, Master Soul's Padawan. They said that kind of just looked like Star Trek. Like it's obviously a person and you just put some bigger ears on them.
Yeah.
And call it a day. Which isn't a puppet, but it is practical, and I don't think that looks good. I don't think either of those Padawans look good at all.
Guys, I want to give everything props. I know making shit.
Props.
I know. But less puppets.
I guess I got to add
more
that
props.
to the
Okay. I want to be happy, but I'm not about Star Wars. So let's give this a little bit of where we are.
And we tend to jump all over the place, so that's why we're talking about face paint before we're talking about plot.
Yeah. So hold on to your butts.
We'll get there.
I did just finish up Fallout. One of the most fun, I'm not gonna say groundbreaking, but just fucking fun.
Look who's back from the grave.
Fucking fun.
Yes,
Fallout.
so fun.
Everything was screaming tension and deceit and I can't trust anybody. It was like a post-apocalyptic
like a Quentin Tarantino kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Where it's like some brutal murder and also some drama, and also some heartwarming stuff, and also some just absurd comedy.
It's post-apocalyptic cross conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
It's like taking a conspiracy the furthest and making that reality,
Yep.
and then dropping a bomb, and then everybody's just like, "What the fuck just happened?" And they're slowly figuring out this.
Yeah.
I like the sleuthy and like all the good stuff's probably pretty fucked.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I can't think of anything else that I've watched that I thoroughly enjoyed watching. Like Succession's great. Like Academy Award, it's some of the best acting, some of the great. I wouldn't particularly say it was fun. I was enthralled.
Oh, it was the opposite of fun.
Yes,
I was like
stressed. You're stressed
very
out.
stressed and like kind of crying the whole time.
Fallout was fucking fun for me.
Yeah, it was
as
it was
fun
a
as it
blast.
gets.
Yep.
I am also starting Wednesday from Wednesday Addams.
Oh yeah, what you guys mentioned the other day was really good.
Wednesday is fucking phenomenal, and that plays off very, very contrasting themes as well, because it's taking the classic murderous dark stuff. Tim
Dark
Burton.
humor, yeah.
It's by Tim Burton, by the way, and meshing it with current day social media teens, and they just do it so well. It's so good. It's so fucking good. So to put everything into perspective, Acolyte's right in the middle. Finished one thing. I started Acolyte, and I quickly jumped to Wednesday in between. Wednesday's been phenomenal. We're 4 episodes in already, 4 or 5, and it's been phenomenal.
Yeah.
The character building, the strings between characters. You said this, which means that was for them, and this relationship could fall down, which means this guy might be guilty, and all that. I've gotten 0 of that with Acolyte.
Yes.
And I think that might be my issue. In a larger scale, someone's murdering Jedi.
Wouldn't it be cool if
Let me put this in. Sorry.
It's okay.
You became a Jedi and left the Order.
Okay.
I come up to you and say, I think your dead sister is murdering Jedi. And you go, what? And walk away.
Yeah, that might be.
That's how I feel. That's the emotion and tension that they're building into this show. She's like, oh, man. And then she walks away. And you're like,
I thought she was
dude,
dead.
you should be like, should I chase after her and try to kill her? Do I want to meet up with her? Do I want to ask her questions? Should I run the fuck away? Should I go to the Jedi for help? Or does May have serious reasons? Like, what did she get into? How did she live? All this shit. But none of that is portrayed.
Right.
It's just, you thought it was me.
Darn it. I'm conflicted on that exact point, which I realize is like the central plot of like, I'm more interested in the Sith machinations behind the scenes.
Sure, absolutely.
So I'm glad they didn't like string along May and Osha's backstory for like 6 episodes before they dropped the bomb. But I also wish they had at least strung it along a little bit. Because like, how cool would it be to like have, like, she's on the run from the Jedi for multiple episodes, and we think she did it, and she's like it'd be good if they. Osha's like a good person, obviously. She's a former Jedi. But it would be good if they kind of put her in situations to make the audience think that, oh, she did do it. But then you start to kind of like her. She's like not super evil. Maybe she had a reason. And then 2-3 episodes in, you get the bomb drop that she has a twin sister.
Guess
and
what?
the Jedi tried to cover it up, and she's still alive.
This is fucking easy.
I would like everyone listen. Pay attention.
Osha leaves the Jedi on okay terms, but she's over it. Done.
Yeah,
She goes
pissed.
off and becomes, what is she? Like, she's like a fucking repair woman, whatever.
Jedi skills don't really transfer to anything else in the galaxy.
Yeah.
Which is,
I don't know. But let's just say she got into a little bit of scoundrel, like she's petty thievery, stealing cars and shit, whatever you want to. She's running from the authorities because of that shit.
right.
She sees Jedi. She's like, "This, I'm fucked. Like this, they're gonna put me away for life. I was a Jedi. Now I'm stealing cars."
Yeah.
Now you're like, fuck, maybe she did do it. Maybe she involved, and then they catch up there. I thought you're, gonna throw me in prison for stealing this. No.
Yeah.
We think you're murdering people. What? End of episode. And you're like,
Right.
oh my God, did she do it? Did she know? What? But there's nothing.
No.
Oh, you're at work? I think you murdered someone.
Yeah,
I
it's-
didn't because I was at work. Oh, okay.
This is a weird connection. But I just watched The Jinx, which is a documentary on HBO, serial killer stuff. And this is a spoiler, so if you haven't seen it, whatever. The premise is they're investigating the murder, and they think that this, rich, wealthy dude from New York who's like heir to like a huge real estate family did it. But you don't really know for sure. There's not a lot of evidence. So as he's talking in the courtroom, and he even gives an interview where he's trying to just kind of like explain his side of the story, you listen to him and you're like, man, I don't think he did it.
Yeah.
I think he's innocent. I kind of like him. He's charismatic. He's good at talking. It would be much more interesting for us to feel that way about Osha. It's like, oh, she killed Trinity from The Matrix. But, maybe I kind of like her. Maybe we learned something about what the Jedi did cover up 16 years ago that makes us think, oh, maybe she was justified. And like give us some of that deeper connection before we drop that there's a twin sister and she actually survived. You know what I mean?
Sorry, I want to get...
It's okay.
What's
what?
Soul, Jedi Master Soul. So
Yeah.
the Asian guy that's has history with May and Osha.
He's cool.
I
like him a lot.
Yeah, I think he's my favorite so far. But I thought they were gonna expound on that a little bit.
On what?
When he had found that May lived, I thought there was gonna be a conversation between him and Osha, him and the Jedi Council. Like, guys, something happened. This girl lived, and I think she's the killer. And it could have been like something that we don't even know, but like the Jedi Council's like, well, did you do XYZ because you told us that she was killed by that person that we covered up. Like you could throw it into some smoke and make the dialogue good, but I'm just saying like, well, it sounds like you fucked up and we covered for you or something along like
now she's
build
still
something
alive.
in there.
Like I think it's going to become very obvious that those 4 Jedi did something to cover it up, and obviously it was not good. Them being Jedi, that's tarnished. They don't want that to get out in the world because people would think badly of them. They're the space police force. But I feel like a little bit of regret from Soul. Like, yeah, he misses his old Padawan, and maybe he's bummed out that he likes her and she's a good person, but people think that she's a murderer now, and he's a little bummed out about that. But I don't get like a deep weight and like a sinister regret that they like murdered someone and covered it up.
No, there's
You know
no
what I
regret.
mean?
Yeah, there's such a lack of emotion. What our buddy said to me, and I'm like, you're right. Star Wars is making shows without soul.
Yeah.
There's no
Boom.
but it is. It's just soul. It feels like soulless characters who don't have a past beyond the dialogue that they say, which is probably the most spot-on thing I've ever said about the current realm of Disney Star Wars.
And the bummer is that dialogue between 2 characters can get a lot of that exposition and make us feel how they're attached to the event.
Yeah.
But they're not having like a deep conversation like Soul and Osha are confronting each other after 16 years, and they're trying to go through their dirty laundry.
Yeah.
It's just like they're just giving us the plot in like a couple paragraphs.
We have to go after your sister who's still alive.
You're twins.
Aw, man. Well, guess what we're doing? We're going after her sister because she's still alive.
Yeah.
It's not like what normal humans do. How are you feeling? Like, what have you been up to?
Like Soul could get almost pissed about it. Like, there's no fucking way that she did that, dude. And I'm going on this mission, whether you like it or not, to try to get her and clear her name because I know who she is and she's not a murderer.
Then the little bit of stress that they did put in there was when Soul was just like, we're right on her tracks. Like let me go after her, and the council's like, we need to put it to a vote, so hold off for a few weeks. And he's like, she's right outside. Like, I can get her. No. And you're like, okay, I feel for him. And clearly that's supposed to be the frustration and the downfall of the Jedi. Like, they're busy deliberating, rather than making action or doing something.
Yeah. I mean, there's like,
I want more.
Technically the things that we wanted when we were prepping for the show, and the things that come full circle in Phantom Menace and why Palpatine was able to basically crush the entire order by himself, that is technically happening, but it's not presented in like a way that gets me on the Jedi side or against them, or really gives me huge buy-in.
You know what the other thing is? They almost have built-in tension through dialogue within just the 3 Jedi that they have. Soul, the Jedi Knight, the Black Kid, and then the alien Padawan.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of tension there through like, God, what's
one of the reviews I watched said that it's like they're like a D&D party. Like they all have different like attributes.
Yeah.
So they kind of complement each other, which I thought was a good way to.
Yord, the Jedi Knight kid.
Couldn't be bothered.
He clearly doesn't trust Osha the same way that Soul does. They need to flesh that out more. Like Yord needs to go take a step in the wrong direction and be like, no, we need to do this, and then
like
Soul
get put on like fucking suspension.
Yeah,
or something.
or Soul just needs to put him in his place.
Right.
Yord, go back to the ship and cry yourself to sleep or something. Like I'm covering up other shit. I'm dealing with the council. You need to. There's needed to be a potential boiling point, and it doesn't feel like. You're right. They're just like playing their part.
Yeah.
In this party that's venturing forth.
He doesn't seem, well, I guess, all right, maybe here's a problem. I was going to say he doesn't feel emotionally against Osha. He's just like reading off lines of the Jedi code that say, oh, we should do this and we have to arrest her. And he's just trying to like follow the fucking checklist procedure.
Yeah.
He doesn't feel like he's sad that a Jedi died and he's like trying to get revenge or get pissed. Maybe that's the problem because obviously the Jedi are not supposed to do that.
Right.
And they have mentioned that. But I guess I feel like if we're really going full all in 100% Jedi have no attachment, how are we going to feel anything as they go throughout the course of the plot?
Let me ask you this, though.
Because they're not going to give us anything. They're just going to like,
if they're supposed to
we
be
have to track her down.
If they're going to go that far to 0 attachment,
yeah,
that means if a Jedi dies, no one fucking cares because there's 0 attachment.
Right. And why are they hunting them down?
Why are they hunting them down?
Oh, because they think if it was Osha, she's an ex-Jedi, and they don't want it to get out that a Jedi killed a Jedi.
So they're less worried about the Jedi dying. They're more worried about tainting the Jedi.
Which is exactly what we should be focusing on because that's the interesting thing.
Yeah.
Is the fact that the Jedi are trying to play politics 100 years before Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
Which leads to their downfall. I mean, I will say one thing that we did predict is like there's going to be some sort of event that makes the Jedi get nervous or like lock things down or try to be more secretive, and that eventually spins out into Palpatine and stuff in Phantom Menace. I feel like this is that event. It's just being presented weird. There's another thing. It's like if I revisit this in 6 months and watch episodes 1 through 8 all in a row, I could feel completely differently about this show.
Sure.
Because I get to see everything. Like think of the setup in Andor. The first 3 episodes are their own little arc. So Cassian Andor's entire like backstory and setup takes place over 3 full episodes. Yeah. This we're just like Osha gets dropped in and then they just have to explain who she is and what happened in the past and why we should care about it so we can move along. Right? Like with Cassian, I got to experience all of these things that like triggered his childhood, and he's a good guy, but he's also, does what he has to do to survive, and like all that stuff just played out because of the situations that he was put in. And in this one, I feel like they're just telling us that. It's like, I know they did like not a crawl, but like an opening summary title screen. I feel like you shouldn't do that and then also have all the characters explain things to us. Like that can give us what we need to get into the story, and then just pick us up, and we're gonna be along for the ride and experiences with you.
The dialogue's been bad. The writing's been bad.
It's been pretty bad. It's a bummer. Real bummer.
The stuff that we see on screen's been okay. Like the bar setting was fun, where they fought up on that other upper level. It was good.
Yeah, that opening
good.
set piece was cool.
So there's stuff there. Yeah. You know what's other? I'm.
What? Do it. Do you want a megaphone? Do you want to talk loudspeaker to everybody?
No, I'm stepping on my own toes, but it's nice in a way that I don't recognize a single species, character, anything on screen. But to have 0 reference, like not like just a fucking Rhodian in the background, like just like a throw something anything. But it is an expansive universe, so it didn't like
We're gonna have a Wookiee in there.
it wasn't like an issue, but I did notice it. I was like, man, this is like completely. I've
They
no
went
bearings.
too far in the one direction. Yeah.
I have no bearings right now. I've like in reading the synopsis, the one sentence, I now know that it was on the Outer Rim. I didn't know.
Like the initial planet. Or
Yeah,
like most
the
of the
bar.
stuff that's
Well,
happening?
both planets.
Yeah.
Were on the Outer Rim, and I didn't know that without reading that.
It might have been in the opening crawl thing.
It wasn't. It
I
never
refuse
was.
to
It never
acknowledge
existed.
that. This is the hardest part for me to describe, but it is the thing that's bugging me the most is that they're trying really, really, really hard to be Star Wars, but for some reason it doesn't feel. Something feels off.
Doesn't feel authentic.
And I can't put my finger on what it is. Because like you'd think if they got away from filming on the volume, the huge giant circular screen thing.
Yeah.
So you'd think if they get away from that and they're on set, location, and practical, that we should be right in Andor's lane. Because that's how that was. It was just like a movie. Like they're on location, there's none of that volume stuff. And it's not at all practical, but leaning heavily on the practical
yeah.
thing. So I would think with that orientation, it would feel more in universe, and for some reason it doesn't, and I cannot articulate exactly why that is.
George Lucas always said, even though this shit happens in space and there's lasers and everything, it's about the characters. It's about
Family.
the relationships. It's about family.
It's about
Somehow Palpatine returned.
And that's why that became an issue, because who gives a fuck about it? But like, there's seeds planted, and hopefully we'll see that happen. But with Osha and May come across each other, there should be something fucking happening. Now, could things turn around? I do still have hope. I really do. Because
Totally.
we have this dark side character up on a fucking hill. Sounds like a robot.
worst voiceover I've ever heard in Star Wars.
Hey, you should do that. What did he sound like?
You can't kill the Jedi with weapons. She killed a Jedi with a weapon. Like the opening scene, she killed a Jedi with a regular weapon. I don't remember. I can't imitate the voice, but it's pretty bad. He's like trying to be Jigsaw. You know.
Yeah, I
He's
did
got
get
a
that vibe.
Sith voice changer or whatever.
Yeah. What if it's a robot?
What if it's Kylo Ren?
Somehow Palpatine
Somehow
existed
Kylo Ren
before.
is immortal. Yeah, there's definitely there's potential in like the overall setting.
Well,
so I have hope.
Well, just
I'm obviously gonna keep watching.
the issue is we have to reach pretty far out. Let's say May is obviously on the dark side path, or following this whoever. Osha's kind of in the middle ground. She was a Jedi, left a Jedi, now she's back with the Jedi. Would she consider continuing her training with Sol during this expedition to go find her evil sister who shouldn't have lived? Like, that could be fun. And she could be like, yes, I need these skills and I need this training to help you guys find my sister. And I'm obviously the one that has a connection with her, so I would be the best fit to do it.
Right.
But, I don't trust you guys. I left the order for a reason. There could be a lot of tension there.
Could be.
Do I expect them to go that far? No. Not with what they showed me, but they could, I guess.
Yeah.
And then if that happens, Bible kid reading the Jedi texts. Yeah, the Jibel.
What?
Yord, he could be definitely at odds. Like he could be.
He was for a bit.
What if there's a rapture?
He
Like
trusted her
split?
so quickly.
What if there's a hard split in the Jedi Order 100 years ago? I don't see how that could
all happen
work.
in 6 episodes. Yeah. That's kind of what I was expecting this to lead to. But if they're going to get there by the end of this first season, I don't know.
Well, the one question mark I do really have that I'm kind of curious about is the floating terrible, awful looking Jedi that willingly killed himself, and you're like, well, that is weird.
Could have been way. There's just. Oh, God damn! It makes me so mad. More we talk about it. That's such a cool fucking idea.
Yeah.
That there's a Jedi that deeply regrets his actions so much that he's going into a permanent meditation until he dies. That's so fucking interesting. We've never really heard about that in Star Wars at all.
But it fell so flat. It fell so flat. Like,
I don't give a fuck. Like, that would have been a perfect time for him to fill us in on what happened by confessing and apologizing to her and then killing himself. The fact that he killed himself is cool.
Yeah.
Like, I get that. That just shows you how big of a fuck up it was. But I don't care about it because he just came out of his bubble and he said, I actually don't remember what he said.
He said, soup.
Fuck,
And then,
sorry, dude. Sorry, bro. Sorry we killed you or tried to.
He
Whatever.
said,
bro.
absinthe. I remember. I agree.
Force bubbles,
I agree. It like there's meat there. There's something there, and then they're just like, oh fuck, we didn't make anyone give a shit about anything.
Right.
Look, a Jedi, he died too. That's what they banked on.
Well, she's hunting down 4 Jedi, and in 2 episodes, we found 3 of them. 2 of them are dead. So she found Soul.
So
Carrie Ann Moss and Tom and Baratheon are both dead, and she only has to find 1 more.
We might be getting somewhere. There might be a savior here because now we're.
It's always the Sith. If the dark side guy is cool, I'm gonna watch it.
But
he's got a red lightsaber.
What if these 4 Jedi were seen doing something horrendous to cover something up? May was the one that saw it.
I think that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, she was pronounced dead by the Jedi because whether or not they saw her die,
right?
They just said,
or whatever.
Yeah, she's missing. We're gonna pronounce her dead, so she's like out of the picture.
Yeah.
And now we're here, but just to build in a little bit of tension between, like, the conversation between Soul and, hey, I'm on her coattails. Like, she just threw sand in my face. I can go get her.
Yeah.
No. And you're like, okay, through dialogue, I know there's some tension, but there should be like
don't push this. We can't let anyone find out what happened at this planet 16 years ago.
Or the other thing I was thinking of is, no, we do need to deliberate. We need to talk about this. I'll get back to you. Click. And then we're on the side of the green face where, like, we see her end the call. She turns and just gives a fucking look or says something.
Master Yoda.
Yeah. What the fuck? Like, he can't.
I thought you took care of this.
He can't talk to her, or something like there should be some type of stress warning.
Yeah.
And then it goes away, and then you're like, fuck, something's there.
String us along, baby. String us along.
But it's that lack of writing. I just
don't know how else to say it.
I'm not sure how. I've never written anything.
I've watched
a lot of stuff.
I can't write.
I don't feel like it's really that hard. These are very simplistic. For me to be able to create it and you're like, yeah, that's decent. I feel like it's not that hard,
That's
guys.
what we do every episode.
I know.
We're like, hey, this is pretty cool, but if you wrote it like this, that'd be great. Dave has our application, hasn't said anything. I don't know why that's the case.
He's scared we'll take over.
He is, because we will.
The Mopaw's taking over.
Oh my God, it's fan service. I just thought of something. That a thing I kind of didn't like about the ending of the first episode, and something that really gives us huge potential. The dark side guy. He goes on this whole rant about you can't break the Jedi Order by killing them. And I feel like he didn't expound enough upon that there's potential. It's like, if we want to take down the Jedi Order, we have to play the long game like the Sith have been playing.
Sure.
We have to, sow some seeds of discontent. We have to make the Republic think that they're bad, frame them, try to blackmail
Question
them or
them, yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Like, that is a really interesting plot point that could push us forward. But before he said that, she already killed one of them. And then he goes on a rant about how you can't just kill the Jedi by killing them. And then she had already killed him. And he killed another one, too. I don't know. Also, I thought it would be cool if they cut to him and he just said the Sith code. That would have been plenty. They cut to this weird, mysterious planet, and he's just reciting the Sith code. That would have been fucking great. Anyways.
Now that I'm thinking about that scene where she's like on the shore and he's just like up on a small hill, I felt like there was potential for more.
Oh, totally.
As far as a setting, like put him on the steps of a temple, or put him in the woods around a campfire. Like there's some weird setting stuff. Like I felt like it was very just like on the other side of the shores on Octo.
Kind of like that scene in Mando season 2 where they're just like obviously a couple miles outside of LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just I'm just stylistically, I feel like him just standing on a nice beach isn't the right setting for like this dark side talk.
He's on vacation, dude. He's having some margaritas.
I mean, it was very Thanos. Like I clicked and now I'm just gonna go lay by the beach.
He hasn't clicked yet though. Fuck. He's getting ready to click. He's just trying to get those fingers together. There's also a really interesting thread with May in the fact that like she hasn't earned her full apprenticeship yet. Like she has to do these tasks in order to like be fully committed to the Sith and like be this person's actual apprentice. Like she hasn't really got her way in. That's something interesting that we just hear that alchemist guy mention, and that's it. Another thing that just like is a cool idea doesn't play out.
The alchemist guy is interesting.
He's my favorite character besides Soul right now.
Yeah. He just plays kind of a middle ground where he's like, yeah, I'm helping her, but I may not be for her cause, but I am helping the cause, but like
Doing my own thing.
I don't really fucking trust you Jedi either, so I'm kind of this middle ground. I'm making my money and making some fucking potions and get out of my store.
Yep.
Which I stole.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, it's fun. It's I'm coming around, guys. I'm trying. I really want this to be good. How many episodes are there?
It was a weak opening for something that is probably the most excited I've been about a Star Wars project, like the concept of a Star Wars project in a couple years. And the amount of really interesting like threads that they can pull on. It was such a weak opening that kind of pissed me off. Let me see.
Yeah.
Let's see how many episodes we got. It's going to be 8.
8 again.
Yeah.
Is that an issue?
Yeah, I was actually just about to mention that. So
So our buddy Kevin mentioned that they have made several series 8 episodes because what they're doing is making a movie and then cutting it up into episodes.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that. The same kind of thing. It's like a movie stretched across 8 parts instead of like written for television, which again, I feel like was a strength with Andor. It's like, here's this little arc. Every episode has a cliffhanger. The arc resolves at the end of the 3rd episode, and then we get ready for the next thing. It's poised that way. Now, you can also go too hard on that. We started watching Yellowstone, and I almost turned it off 5 times because it pissed me off. Because it can feel really contrived if you're like, we just need a major conflict for this episode. It gets resolved by the end of it, and then something bad happens. There's a cliffhanger to get you to watch the next one.
Very
like,
just cliche.
That is annoying as fuck.
Yeah.
So that's going too far, but I feel like they're not with Kenobi and with Acolyte and with Boba Fett specifically. They feel like a broken up movie that is.
The pacing's awful. It destroys.
Awful.
It destroys. What it does is it destroys my attention. I'm here to watch this, and then you're going like this like weird fucking path to just tell me Jedi are dying and they're related. The murderers related to OSHA. Yeah. But we're like, what? And where she's at work and all this shit. I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
She's at workman's comp.
You know what this bothered me? It bothered me that it bothered me, if that makes sense. I was mad at myself because it bothered me. But that prison droid looked fucking dumb.
The entire prison ship was dumb.
It looked bad.
Hey, we 2 Jedi personally came to the Outer Rim to investigate this person that killed a Jedi Master. Was it you? I think so. All right, go on this ship with 1 droid, and it's going to take you back to Coruscant. We're going to peace out. We're not going to monitor you. We're not going to take you on our own, even though we think that you're someone that is capable of murdering a Jedi Master. Yeah. You'll probably be locked up with these chair droids, and you'll be fine.
I felt like OSHA just pushed the fucking droid over. He can't get up.
Well, she can't use the Force. She forgot.
Have you seen C-3PO 100 years from now?
I was hoping that was an HK droid for a second.
He can't get up. This thing was just like a... Warning, Will Robinson.
Well, like I said, 2 of them were chairs, which was actually kind of cool.
How do you feel about her little data pad that has a personality?
I actually thought that was really interesting because I know they always have to have a droid companion, and they keep kind of like creating new ways to do that with Battlefront and Iden Versio. Your little probe droid that's like clasped to your armor was cool. And then with Fallen Order, we have BD1, which was awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, the fact that there's another little companion droid, I thought was really cool.
I'm on the fence.
Yeah.
I thought it was dumb, but it's an interesting idea. It's kind of where I'm at. Like, useful, it doesn't look useful at all.
Well, she broke out of jail with it.
Yeah, but she
If
had
it
to,
starts
she had to
saving the
physically
fucking
reach
day,
it.
like BB-8 hacking into the top of an ATST, I'll start to get pissed. But I like the idea of it. You know what I mean?
Stop motion. Yes, you should watch it.
You should definitely watch it. But if you are going to, you might want to. I love you and thanks for watching, but you might want to tune out because we're spoiling everything for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Just go in with an open mind, man, and just hope for the best.
I did. I was excited for it, man.
I know. So,
and I didn't prep. It's not like I was like watching every single TV spot and like, oh, I can't wait for this to show up. I think this is going to happen. And then it didn't, and I was disappointed. I didn't really prep at all.
yeah,
I watched the trailer,
I watched the trailer once.
the teaser, and then the trailer, and then that was it. And I was just open, ready to fuck.
It is really sad that my audio message was spot on. Trailer, someone's killing Jedi. Episode 1, someone killed a Jedi.
I should have put that.
I'm like, yeah, I get it.
I should have put that on the soundboard. Let me see if I can pull it up. Oh, fuck you.
Don't do it.
Oh, it's not gonna work.
Killing Jedi. Scene 1, episode 1. Someone killed a Jedi. Scene 2. Remaining Jedi say, no!
Yeah, it could get better. See,
It will get better.
Watching Wednesday, the very first episode, I would say is like just a tad bit rocky. But man, does it dive in deep. Second, I mean, it starts rolling.
Yeah.
And Tim Burton, man, has not lost a fucking step.
Yeah, he's awesome.
It's such fun. It's such fun. And the quips that they all have, like the enjoying gruesome darkness murder in an everyday conversation, is so fucking good.
The whole family's in it, right?
Yeah. Well, no, it's about Wednesday. You are introduced to the family up front, and then she's basically dropped off at boarding school.
Oh yeah. Okay. I remember
So it just
reading
kind of runs off with her, but it's great. It's fucking fantastic, and like I said, they just mesh everything so well. And the girl that plays Wednesday is fantastic. It's fun. It's really fucking fun. And like I said, coming from Fallout, man, it's just been. Look at these female leads killing these fucking series, and then you see Acolyte, and it just so far it's fallen short. It could go.
And that's I haven't read or watched anything about that sort of complaint. Like, oh, it's a fucking strong female protagonist.
She's great. She's
a great,
She looks
cool
great.
character. Looks cool. Good actor with bad lines. But that is like that is not even on my list of complaints.
Yeah, it's not.
It never would be. I mean, fucking Princess Leia, Padme, Rey. Like, why do we give a fuck about that?
Yeah. Yeah, just put a good show around it.
Jyn Erso.
There's a lot of them, aren't there?
Yeah, Star Wars has always had badass motherfuckers. Verbiage. I was just about to say something. I lost it.
Did I tell you? Well, I wrote it down.
Character threads, character development is what I was gonna say. I know we've mentioned that, but like the fact that Andor reminded me of Game of Thrones in the best possible way, is something that I just can't overstate. The fact by the end of it, I knew everyone's character. I knew their backstory, not every fucking detail. I'm saying like I know where they came from, how they're in this situation, and what they're trying to get to, what they're striving for. By the end, when they have that riot in the fucking funeral, I'm crying because I loved that woman and she took care of Cassian, and I know like how horrible life was and how she was just trying to, any little instance that she can get one over on the Empire, she's trying.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to the end in the riot, I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm with these people, dude. Kill them. I'm usually on the Empire side.
Yeah.
Like, kill these fuckers, dude.
Yeah. You feel the oppression. They conveyed the emotion to the viewer.
Yeah, man.
Who do I want to win in Acolyte so far? Who's losing? The Jedi killed himself. I don't fucking know what's happening so far.
I don't know.
Are we supposed to? No. We're not supposed to know what's happening so far. So
Yeah, it's supposed to be a mystery.
This is okay, but this playing devil's advocate because I'm watching Wednesday. There's murders happening in the Wednesday series too. Pretty much every fucker on screen is a suspect, and Wednesday's kind of sleuthing her way through all this stuff. It's really fun, but every time she talks, it's like it's borderline Harry Potter. So it's like a school for the misfits. Like people have powers and weird shit. It's very, but it's a fine line that they do very well. It doesn't feel like Hogwarts, even though it basically is.
Okay.
It's done
Like
so well.
juvenile Hogwarts,
Yes.
juvenile detention.
I'm just saying it could have easily fallen into that. They haven't. It's great.
Yeah.
But every student that she talks to is like, oh, maybe he did it because he knows this person who did that, and oh, he was there at the fucking festival. And then you talk to like, so it's that school in a an old style town. So the townies don't really like the school people, the freaks, and the freaks don't really like. So there's some tension built in there.
Right.
But then Wednesday goes to the town people and starts talking to the cop, whose kid works at a coffee shop, who Wednesday like stood up for, and it's just this like hodgepodge of like, God, even like the cop's son could be in on it. Maybe he is a freak, but he didn't, his dad didn't want him to go to that school, or like there's so much like I don't know. Every person, the dean at the fucking school, who is Captain Phasma, who's she's a great actress.
Oh yeah, dude.
She's fucking phenomenal. I love her in this.
Brianna
in this
Tarth.
shit. I think she's better in this than even Brianna Tarth, just maybe because of her character. But every person I'm watching on screen, I'm like, I love it.
Yeah.
And any one of these people could have done it, and I would have fully believed it. And I feel for Wednesday because she's stuck right in the middle of it.
Yep.
It's so good. And then I watch Acolyte, and I'm like, God, who did it? Who did?
Oh, they both did it.
She's right there.
I just, as you were explaining all that stuff, like the fact that Wednesday was also a murder mystery, I was like, what if the scene opens the same way? It's Carrie Ann Moss in the thing, and this person goes to assassinate her and ends up killing her. That's all good. But what if she is fully masked up?
I thought the same thing.
We don't see her at all. Like, so it's just some mysterious assassin all in black with a fucking mask or a helmet or whatever. We have no idea who it is. Just some weird rogue Jedi person. Cut to Osha. We get introduced to the main character. She goes along with the thing. It would be so much more interesting if, like, Osha doesn't have to be a Jedi anymore. But if there's some way for her to be grouped up with them, or maybe she's in, like, wrong place, wrong time while the Jedi show up looking for evidence about this assassin, and at some point the assassin unmasks and Osha's looking in the mirror and she's like, fuck, and then we can unspool that, like, twin sister thought you were dead, all that fun stuff. But the fact that we know about it within like 5 minutes is like, it's like spoiled.
They even had it spoon-fed. They tried. Like, the bartender spotted Osha and was like, no, that's her. But it could have been, like you said, a covered up mask.
Yeah.
And then on her way out after killing, like, she didn't realize there was someone else in the bar, and she like pulled her mask down to make sure the Jedi was dead or something.
Yeah.
And then she looked over or fucking security. It's a bar.
Yeah, fucking droid.
Something. And
Probe droid
then
or
it could be
whatever.
like, oh no, that's you.
Hollow recording of her killing younglings. There's a lot of ways to do it, man. I don't know. If you hire us, I'll tell you all.
Oh man. Yeah, we'll see what happens. We got episode 3 tomorrow. Hopefully things, usually by episode 3 or 4, I mean, that's halfway through the fucking series. If once we get to 4, if it hasn't taken off by then, I don't think I'll give a shit. Like, these are pivotal episodes for Mopar.
Oh, they always are. That's why I'm so surprised that it was like a week opening. Like, they gave us the 2 episodes. I'm like, all right, that's a good start. But yeah, it was weak. Andor was 10, right? Was Andor 10 episodes? Go. I can't fucking wait for Andor to come back, dude. I have to go watch that to cleanse my fucking palate.
What is Andor? 24 episodes. What the fuck?
Well, it's telling you what's coming in the future. Yeah, it was 10. Wait, no, it was 12.
It was 12.
So it looks
and
like
it's-
season 2 is going to be 12 as well.
God, that came out almost 2 years ago.
See, that single decision would be enough to like same exact plot. Let us know that they're both twins from like the beginning, but if you have more time to expand upon all these little things, it would just draw me in more.
What if we got a flashback up fucking front
Of Yoda.
of
Guys,
OSHA?
it's Yoda.
It could be very vague, but of the incident. And we see it from a certain point of view. But you know what I'm saying? Like some type of battle or whatever the fuck went awry. And you see an explosion. You assume May dead. And then the camera, like it's all very vague. You see like a child die, or assumingly.
Yeah.
And then like the camera swings up to Soul, knowing that he was there. And then it just fades to current time.
Yeah.
And he's just there. We see what the fuck happened, at least a little bit. We also it leads us to believe that he's sitting there pondering that.
Right.
So he's worried about it, and it's been on his mind for years.
Yeah, it's
And he
almost
could be-
like got a vignette around it, like when Anakin's having his forced
Yeah.
dream about
Yeah.
Padme dying. And then there's like people screaming and it gets a lot of tension, then it cuts and he wakes up out of a meditation and he's fucking
Yeah.
sweating.
Yeah, and then he could wake up to like the fucking Jedi phone, and he's like, "Hey, we got her." I'm not even joking though. Hey,
Like the red
he
phone we
wakes
call
up.
the Emperor.
Yeah. Hey, we got her, the girl that's been killing. And he
Young
walks
ones.
up, and it's
The person you just had the dream about.
It's OSHA in the jail cell, and he's like, "What are you
I've
doing
seen a
here?
ghost.
What are you doing here? That you can't be doing that. You were." And then they slowly find out together. Oh, it wasn't her.
Right.
we did. But
Right.
think about that. That's such a fucking. Oh my god.
Well, they are going to. I'm sure there's going to be a flashback. There has to be. I've seen like in parts of the trailer, there's like a young Soul, a young Carrie-Anne Moss, like a young version of them at the event when there was the fire on that planet 16 years ago. So they're going to come back to that at some point. I thought actually while I was watching it, like, screw the text on screen to explain the plot. Just start with the prologue. We start off on not trusting the Jedi. Something fishy happened, and some kid died, and that's how we kind of start our foot off into the plot. It explains everything without having to explain anything.
It's almost like they had an opportunity to save May, but for some reason, some way, May was involved with the wrong people, and the Jedi going out of their way to save her would get them involved with, you know what I'm saying? So they decided just not to save her
Yeah.
because it would eventually tarnish the Jedi name publicly.
Yeah.
That's the wrong thing to do.
Of course.
And scene. Go. Fucking do it. Just do it.
Give me it.
Give me it.
Give me hell yeah.
Come on.
I don't know.
All
man.
this to say that Wednesday is definitely worth a watch.
And so is Fallout.
It's fucking fantastic. Wednesday's fun as fuck. I'm so happy we kind of just randomly opened that.
Yellowstone, you can probably pass on.
Really, I've heard good things. Is it just like
So it is almost beat for beat Succession,
yeah?
but instead of a rich media conglomerate family in New York, it is a wealthy ranch family in Montana.
Okay, yeah.
And dude, there's 3 sons and 1 daughter. Dude's getting old. His wife's dead. He's trying to figure out who's gonna take over the ranch so he doesn't have to like
Jesus,
let it go to shit
So it's
when he
legitimately-
dies. The weird thing, I actually looked this up because I was like, that's so similar. They came out the same year. They came out at the same time, so it's not like they like, ripped one
Wow.
another off. It just was weird that it's the same exact thing. So like the setting's cool, the cinematography's great, the dialogue's great, acting's great. Kevin Costner's a savage. A lot of character buy-in. But I'm starting to get pissed because they do that thing where it's like, oh, they resolved this issue. Okay, maybe I feel different about this character. And then it cuts before the episode ends, and it's like, oh, dude, his wife fell off the horse. She might die.
like
Cut. Next episode. She's not dead. Everything's cool. End of that episode. Oh, he crashed his car. He might die. Every time. It's so fucking obnoxious, man.
Scene 1. He's fine.
I don't know if we just started, so we're about to watch the season 1 finale. So maybe it gets better after that. I don't know. I mean, it's really cool. It's hard to turn it off. The characters keep me so invested. I'm like, as annoying as this can be, I need to see what happens to Kevin Costner and his son and his daughter, who's self-destructive, and the ranch hand, who is like Tom Wamsgans kind of.
Oh yeah.
So,
wow,
it's all about the characters.
It's all about the Pentiums, baby. I watched Blair Witch for the first time.
The original one for the very first time.
Very first time.
I'm surprised you never watched that with us.
I told you, I haven't seen Twister.
Yeah, you
Blair
haven't
Witch.
seen Twister. What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, you don't even deserve
to
watch Acolyte. You can't watch Acolyte episode 3 until you watch Twister.
There was several of those, like The Matrix. I hadn't seen until later in life.
Yeah.
Yeah, Twister. There's several of them.
I'm shitting because there's a bunch of stuff like. Took me a long time to see Back to the Future. I've never seen any of the Rocky movies. You yell at me, I've never seen Goon. There's a bunch of classics I've never
Yeah,
seen.
but Goon's not a classic.
Yeah, but you talk about it every day.
It's fucking hilarious, but it's not a classic.
Nah, Twister's good. You should get into it.
Yeah, Blair Witch was fun, man. I could definitely see why it was popular.
It is the first of that style.
And they do it very well. It's weird that I'd probably say 75% of the way through the movie, I was vested. And then like the last 25%, I actually was turned off a little bit. So it's weird that I like the documentary side of it, where they're all just kind of hanging out and figuring stuff out and going and, things are happening. And then when the scary stuff really kicks in, I'm like, I don't give a shit anymore. Like, I'm tired of having the camera just staring at a tent wall while she just screams, "No!" And you're like,
You got to put yourself in 1999. Or
I
whatever
know.
it was.
That's why I get it. I get why it was groundbreaking, and it really did just put me in the time. Like it. Even now, I was watching. I was like, "Fuck, this is so 90s," and I love it. And there's just a theme that goes along with that style of filming. And it's very like CKY, like, hey, this is just buddies and hanging out.
We used to film some stupid shit on those same kind of cameras.
It just felt extremely familiar. So obviously, but even 20-some years later, it felt like I hadn't missed a beat. Like I just get it.
Right.
I clicked it for me right away.
Yeah. But it doesn't, it's not overtly scary.
No, it's
like you don't see the witch at all, right?
I didn't really even understand it. There was like piles of rocks, and she was like, "This can't happen. The fucking rocks," and then the sticks were hanging in there. She's like, "No!" And
but like at the very end,
I know
when
they go into that house,
die. You don't ever see the witch, right?
You don't see anything. Nothing happens.
Right. So it's not like a big reveal of the monster or any kind of like typical horror movie climax.
Yeah.
It's all about the tension. Yeah. And you really got to be in the mood to sit there and absorb that tension for 2 hours to make the payoff worth it.
It was, yes. It was also, I would have made a couple different things at the end.
Here we go again. Director's cut from Mopar.
I would have fixed it. No, it just like at the end, she's still carrying the fucking camera around in this house, and you're like, I guess by this point, I probably would have turned off the fucking camera. It felt very Paranormal Activity.
Right.
Well, they're only attacking us because
go to a hotel.
Well, no, yeah. Well, the wife in that, or the girlfriend in that, Micah, they're only attacking us because you have the camera on. You got to turn it off. Oh, I can't. And you're like,
I'm going to Cannes Film Festival.
You could turn it off. That's how it felt like in the Blair Witch at the end. She's like running through the fuck, and you're like, oh, well, you could have a fucking sword or a gun or something. She's just walking around like.
Yeah.
But it was weird that she walked in. So they're chasing after their buddy who got kidnapped.
Right.
He's
taken
missing.
out of the tent, right?
And they keep following his voice. And they follow him all the way to this scary house, and they go in and they keep hearing him upstairs and downstairs and all this shit. And then the other guy that she's with is found. We see him standing just in the corner of the basement staring.
Yep.
Like frozen. And then she just screams no, and then it goes dark, and you're
Yeah.
like,
And she drops the camera, I think, right?
yeah. And you're like,
What happened?
yeah. It's fun. It's fun. It's fun.
It is fun.
Is there a Blair
like to
Witch?
watch it once.
Is there a follow up? Is there a Blair Witch?
they
2?
tried to franchise the fuck out of that. There's, I think, a new one just came out recently. There's a couple. Let's find out. Let's find the fuck out. I like watching stuff like that, like the one time, and you get the payoff and you understand, and then I don't want to sit through it again. You know,
They remade it in 16.
so I actually don't. I haven't seen any of these. So there's Blair Witch 2, which is called Book of Shadows, and then Blair Witch in 2016, which I don't know if that's a remake or what. And then I don't even know what these are.
TV movies.
TV movies.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I guess the 2016 one might be worth. I mean, it's an hour and a half. Might be worth a. What kind of rating does it have? Not that really leads to anything. All the way up there, slim.
Oh, it's a continuation. So it's like somebody finds that footage and then goes out to investigate again. Yeah. This is where something like
5 out of 10, so it's better than Acolyte.
IMDb gives me all my information. My opinion.
My opinions.
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I opt for something like Conjuring,
Yeah.
which has the same vibe, but it is still a movie. So there's the 3 acts and there's the climax at the end where they finally get rid of the demon or whatever.
Yeah,
so
that
you can at
one's
least get some sort of resolution.
that one's
the
fucked.
second one is fucked, dude. Where they're in the house in England.
I'm not sure. I lost it. I know there's the Annabelle stuff.
And the Nun too.
And the Nun.
They
yeah.
expanded the whole thing. I've only seen the first 2.
Okay.
Yeah, but
The first one's great.
The first one's great. The second one it's a house in England, and there's like an old man demon haunting this room, and is only the little girl in the family is the only one that like sees it. So anything with like little girls and horse stuff, it's pretty fucked up.
Oh yeah.
That's where the Nun I think shows up, or was the Nun in the first one? I can't remember.
I don't remember
It's been a
either.
long time since I've seen those.
Yeah. It was one of those movies that I bought for $5 on my Xbox, and I just finally had the chance to sit and watch it. So it was fun.
It's not Halloween. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Or yeah, we're as far away from Halloween as
That's not
possible.
That's no longer true, dude. Guys, I want Star Wars to be good. I really do. I really want to enjoy it. I want to love it.
Well, I
I want to care for it.
I saw a little more gameplay stuff from that newer game that's going to be coming out.
Outlaws?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
They keep hyping it up.
I don't trust Ubisoft
Yeah.
at all.
They keep saying the first open world Star Wars game. I'm like, I guess. Could be good.
Could be cracking.
Could be. It's given me Gotham.
Yeah, Arkham Asylum
Arkham
and
Asylum.
like Assassin's Creed style.
Yes.
Which I loved Arkham because it's Batman.
Yeah.
I played Assassin's Creed like 2 and then the Egyptian one because I love Egypt, but I never finished. I couldn't stick with it.
Yeah.
It just feels like a bunch of tasks I have to do. It feels like a bunch of busy work, you know?
Yeah, it's
I don't like that style of game.
I like the Batman games, the Arkham games. It's fun, like coming up to a situation and having like 3 or 4 ways to do it.
Yeah.
But it didn't feel like any of those ways were better or easier. It was just like, no, you're gonna get the job done.
Play style.
Yeah, it was just kind of like yeah.
The problem is that stuff gets really old really quick.
Yeah.
It's like the first time you do your stealth mission, it's like, that's pretty cool. And then you do a vehicle mission, like, fuck, that's pretty cool. Then you do just like a brawl. Oh, that's great. And then you just cycle through those again till the game's over. And then you get to the final boss, you have to do a combination of all of them.
Yeah.
You have to remember everything you learned throughout the game and beat the boss.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They tire me out, but obviously I'm interested. I'm glad it's happening and not canceled. Definitely gonna watch a bunch of reviews and gameplay, and we'll see.
Yeah, I'm not buying it on day 1 or day.
I'm never buying
30.
games on day 1 ever again. I'll get the Elden Ring DLC. I trust them. I'll get that.
Are they charging for that?
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah. It's either 30 or 40.
But you know.
I'll give them $30 just because I love the game. I don't give a fuck. We went on a binge of that earlier this year, and I was looking at my save files, and I calculated. I've done 280 hours on Elden Ring.
I've never looked at hours on anything. I'd be scared to look at Skyrim hours and like Battlefield 4 hours.
Yep. Yeah, my Overwatch hours is like 580.
I don't.
It's including 1 and 2. It's cumulative, but yeah. Yeah, our Battlefield 4 hours were probably about there too. Guarantee.
Can we talk about Fallout? I know we've been praising it.
Yeah,
but
let's
holy
totally,
shit.
Dude. It's been a couple weeks. So we might have to refresh my memory on some of the plot points, but fuck yeah, it was awesome, dude.
Dude, it
dripping the substance.
It was just dripping with these conspiracies.
What? Yeah. What about conspiracies? Just like the main.
So the main
subplot or whatever.
The main subplot of Vault Tech causing or dropping their own bomb.
Right.
So people,
which you don't find out to the very, very end.
Right.
But that's the perfect corporate American conspiracy plot line.
Yeah. And it's cool. So the other thing I really loved is that they took these characters and then went off on their own character lines, and then they, of course, converted them.
Yep.
But man, the ghouls storyline is fucking insane.
It's awesome.
It's fucking insane. And the fact that he's like now, dude. The show's great. The show makes you question everything. Like, she was 100% okay in the vault. I still don't get what those 3 vaults, the 3 that are working
connected
together. I still don't get it. Get it? Because the brother got into the one side where it's a bunch of frozen fucks, and it's being run by that brain in a jar.
Yeah, that's the manager or the sales guy that was trying to get people to buy the vault.
But so are they slowly thawing people and putting them into a vault and seeing who works out best? And then sending the ones that aren't working well off to the other vault to die? Like, I still don't 100%. Like, each vault is an experiment. I don't understand what that experiment is.
I think it had something to do with like training managers, like training people that were going to be on the Vault Tech side to then. Because isn't that the whole thing is like by the time she finds out her dad is evil because he's working for them or with them, I think they're trying to like train people to be Vault Tech managers and have them be the overseer in the other vaults.
So they're planting. They're literally
global
creating
shills.
management for the other vaults.
Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna look up the plot summary of that because I forget a little bit. It's been a month. My brain doesn't work. Acolyte just wiped my memory.
But it's weird that they would have like a burner vault that they just refab and then kill everybody. Then they refab and kill everybody. And then there's the worker vault that these people are still worth procreating.
Right.
I don't know.
I can't find it at like a quick enough glance.
Yeah,
to,
no, you're
to
good.
Say.
You're good.
Sorry. It was something like that because the little brain robot that was the sales guy that Walter was talking to in the past that was trying to convince him to get
Walter's
the vault.
the dad?
The ghoul. Yeah.
Oh. Who's
I think that's his name.
What's the main Lucy's dad?
Ooh. I don't remember.
The original
I've been
overseer.
calling him the overseer. Yeah, I don't remember.
Because he was alive. That's the other thing that kind of confused me. The timeline.
Cooper is the ghoul, my bad.
The timeline did confuse me because we're talking 200 years after the bomb dropped. But somehow her dad was seen prior to the bomb drop. So was he frozen for several years, or is he a clone?
Oh, that's what it was. Yes, they're like the people that were Vault Tech managers before the bombs went off. They were preserving them and having them gradually be woke up, and they're the overseers of the vault. You're right. Because he was working for Vault Tech because Walton or Cooper recognized him.
Well, and that boardroom meeting that was fucked.
That was awesome.
It was one of the craziest scenes I've ever seen.
Oh, fucking his wife was in there too.
But all of them were like, no, you guys don't get it. There are no rules. You can do whatever the fuck you want with your vaults. You can do whatever the fuck you whatever works.
Yep.
And we're going to leave it up to you guys. And I was like, fuck. So they're all doing their own experiments and all doing their own like societies, and they're all doing all this shit. And I'm like, dude, this is fucked.
It's really
It's
intense.
Crazy.
They went full bore into every little thing that makes Fallout in the best way. It feels like every type of scenario and emotion you get when you're playing through the game, they found a way to work that into the show. There's absurdity and you're laughing. There's weird brutality that's almost comical with people's arms being ripped off.
Yeah.
And there's the mutant monsters, there's the drama, the family stuff, there's the corporate corruption with Vault Tech and like the government stuff. It's all in there.
There's like a pull on humanity and stretching it to its absolute limits on all of those aspects.
Yeah.
Let's kill our own people so we stay in power, and we've been selling this war that we need to make it happen. So all this, and you're like, dude,
that's happening probably right now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
If some company starts making Fallout shelters, I am not going in.
Either that or you're going in.
I ain't going in.
Hey,
I want to become manager, Mr. Manager.
Yeah. Oh my god. The weirdest thing. So you said there was like 2 CGI things that you're like, oh, that's weird.
I'm trying to remember what they were.
I think one of them was the pond monster when they were all after the head.
Yeah.
There was a weird like shot. I was like, oh, that looked bad. And I'm not gonna lie, even though it was the climax of the whole fucking thing, the last scene where it's like the zombie mom was killed, her dad's still in that cage.
Oh, the zombie! It's fucking straight out of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I thought that set looked bad. It felt like the end of a 90s Batman movie set. Like this is supposed to be
the evil lair.
It's supposed to be, a lair. It felt like possibly like at the top of a building, but it's clearly just like a Hollywood room. Like it felt really bad.
Yeah.
But everything that was happening in that, I'm like,
didn't give a fuck about the room. Yeah. I think the bear that attacked the homeboy in the power suit was maybe a little the other thing that maybe was a little weird.
You know, I loved the wacko random doctor that fixed. I don't even know who the knight's helper kid.
Yes.
He went off by himself and he found that doctor, that like witch doctor guy that just gave him some random shit.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. The snake oil salesman.
Dude.
Yep.
So fucking weird and like I didn't know how to feel. I was like, what is that guy? What is he?
Well, the first time you saw him, he was trying to fuck chickens.
That's something out of a Rob Zombie movie.
Also Fallout. Something out of Fallout. Fun cameo from Fred Armisen as the DJ. That was cool. I won't lie, I was kind of hoping for 3 Dog, but
so there's several things that I thought
they're gonna save it for season 2.
I hope, season 2. So we haven't seen what we haven't seen. Yeah, no 3 Dog yet. Since we haven't even seen. Have you played Fallout 4?
No.
There's a whole basically community of droids of like since they're fake people, and they're literally Terminators that they can kill people, but some of them get free and like are actual like regular beings.
Yeah.
But a lot of them are still in this army being used by this other company post-apocalypse. It's crazy. Since the other thing was God damn it.
Yep.
The big the big
the super mutants.
Super mutants, thank you.
That's the other thing I was waiting for.
Yeah, I thought there was
it's
like
okay to save it though.
Yeah. No, I'm fine. But I thought there was a couple points in the series in the first season that I thought, ooh, this is, and it ended up being a bear or a death claw.
Yep.
Because when the bear showed up, I was like, no, it's a death claw, and then it was a bear. I was like, I get it.
Radioactive evil bear though.
Or like a glowing.
Dude, one of my favorite scenes was when they have to go into that supermarket to get more jet for Cooper to take, so he didn't fucking die or whatever, or turn into a zombie. It felt like a mission in the game, dude.
It was spot on. Everything has been spot on.
Oh my gosh. I was like, wow, I feel like I'm watching myself play this game.
Yeah.
It was so good.
It was, they just did it well. I don't know if the fucking thing was made for me, but it was made for me.
Definitely. I took ownership of it. So the question is, obviously it's the first TV of Fallout in the universe that we've ever seen. The question is like, because I was going to relate it to Star Wars, is that going to get old?
No.
The fact that the setting is so well done that I am familiar with it, am I going to get bored of it in 3 seasons? Whereas like Star Wars, I'm like, I just want them to apply the... I don't even want to say world building, because obviously Star Wars does world build. Like the feeling I get from watching Fallout, where it feels so familiar to me and brand new at the same time.
Yeah.
I want every Star Wars project to do that. Andor did that. It's Rebels and Empire. I get that part of it, but it's like covert spy thriller stuff. Luthen was awesome.
Yeah.
So it's all brand new stuff in the setting that I like. I'm just wondering if Fallout feels so great because it's the only time it's happened, and it's gonna start getting stale.
No, it's just a clash, man. It's a clash of people, and the setting is so open. Because the Brotherhood could start to take over. There could be a fucking war, an actual full war on the surface. Dude, I think
we haven't seen anything with China at all.
Right. Well,
talks about it, but nothing was in there.
And did you see you got the seed planted, the last thing you saw?
Yeah, New Vegas.
New Vegas.
Yeah.
Which honestly I played maybe 10 hours of, and people rave about that one.
The setting's fucking sweet, and if that's where season 2 is going to be centered, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, they could easily roll this into... I would love a movie. I would love a fucking trilogy. I would love more series.
Yeah.
Honestly, it doesn't need to be more series. Just continue this one.
Well, because of course it's there's hundreds of years. So
yeah,
Lily, right? It's just one storyline.
Lucy.
It's just one storyline, like with her dad. They could do 3 seasons with her, and then they could continue it and go in the future or in the past and just kind of keep it going with a totally different character story.
Yeah. Do what the fuck the games do. Find another vault and have them...
A new person from a new vault
start.
coming out. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Fuck, it's so good, dude.
It's so good.
Speaking of
wow, there were words.
Speaking of polka.
What?
Post-apocalyptic savagery. Have you ever seen Mad Max? Any of them?
No.
Tommy Boy convinced me to watch Fury Road, which is not the one that just came out a couple weeks ago. The one from 2017 or 15.
Okay.
It's fucking wild. I don't even want to really talk about it because I'm not going to do it justice.
Yeah, I want... Is that the first remake? They made a Mad Max, a newer one.
None of them are remakes. They're all different like storylines or plots around the same main character.
Okay.
So it's not like a reboot, because like the very first one is like right at the start of the apocalypse. This one is a couple years in the future where shit has just degraded, and it's literally like, have you ever seen Waterworld? Like back in the day?
No.
No, never. Okay. Anyways, it's like similar to Fallout. It's like everything's fucked, everything's gone, everyone's fighting over like just food and water and oil and guns. Yeah, I don't even want to describe it, but I have to highly recommend it. It's just, I've never seen anything like it. Like the setting and visually, I've just never...
Bring it up.
Never seen anything.
I want to see what all, like if you just search the Mad Max series, like what's all... Because I feel like I started watching one of them.
Like the character design of the fucking main villain is like, this guy is just awesome.
Is that the first one? Is just called Mad Max Fury Road?
This is the recent one from like 2015.
Well, I don't know what you're telling me. Is this the first one? Is this where I would start the series?
No, they started in the 80s.
Okay.
But Tommy
You're
Boy said,
saying
like,
this is the first one of the newer ones.
Well, Tommy Boy said that they're connected, but you don't really need to like go chronological and get the whole backstory. You can just drop right in.
Okay.
They do a little prologue at the beginning. Where
Again,
it's like,
where should I start?
Start with this one.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
Your question confused me. But it's just wild and wacky, dude. I don't know how else to describe it. I guess like the apocalypse kicked in the like 90s or something. So like everything they have is no later than like late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
So like they retrofit all these cars, but it's all like hot rods and 80s stuff and like semi trucks and like
Yeah.
and it's all hodgepodge together. It's like Borderlands or something, you know?
There's
like a semi truck with an excavator on the back facing the other way and like a bomb and a Willys with spikes on the front. I don't know. It's just I've never seen anything like it before, dude. It's wild. So if you're looking for something to just
Tom Hardy, come on.
Yeah. To just jump right in and like you don't need to overanalyze plot or anything. It's like bad guy, good guy, they're chasing him. That's all you need to know. It's cool. Especially if you're in a Fallout vibe.
Yeah.
Go for it.
It's valid. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do it.
I'll show you a scene when we're done recording.
All right.
It'll get you right
If
into
there's
it.
no tits, I'm not.
Couple tits.
Yes!
I got a couple other things on the list, but we've been going for a minute. You want to save them?
Yeah, we can save it.
Prepare. Watch Acolyte episode 3 tomorrow.
Yeah.
Shit all over it.
Yeah. Have you, like, the ship design? Has there been anything that stood out, like in Acolyte? I feel like that's another thing that's just lost. Like, I haven't paid attention to any of the.
I liked all the Neomodian stuff.
Yeah.
I was like some early Trade Federation stuff.
Yeah.
It's cool.
That's valid. No, I actually felt the same way when I saw him. I was like, oh shit.
But
nice.
that was 5 minutes.
Yeah.
No, there hasn't been anything where I'm like, oh my god, that's sweet.
Outside of OSHA's costume design, the other stuff I was like, yeah. I mean, I know Jedi are not supposed to be that, but yeah, I just.
It is the full High Republic, like white and gold instead of
the
gray sand shit.
Nothing's really popping up.
Yeah.
May and OSHA look good, and everybody else just is like a blob to me. Outside of the Neomodians, though.
Just a blur of background characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The production hasn't been great either. The edits have been odd. I know we've said the lack of special effects, but the only special effects I can even think of, we went from
it's a heavy focus on the martial arts combat.
Right, which is a very...
Instead of like a big space battle, you're getting like a Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon fight scene.
Yeah, which is fine. Have we seen a blaster go off yet? And not that you need that, but...
Homegirl tried to stun her sister, and she missed twice, whether
she
on
missed
purpose or not.
Horribly, yeah. That would look like on purpose, but...
My main takeaway is like, she is not shocked enough that her twin sister is alive.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
The entire source of her trauma
Think of this.
is back, and she is not... she's not bent up about that enough.
There's no sense of, any stress or anything. The other thing that, like, not only, oh my God, my sister's alive, and oh my God, my sister's alive and is killing people, but oh my God, my sister's alive and killing people, and this fucker told me that she's dead, who I left.
Right.
Like, there should be a shit ton more, like, Soul, what the fuck is this? Like, how is she still, like, and they're just like buddy right now.
Dude, they partner with her and send her on a mission to try to get information within a couple minutes.
Yeah. It's no questions asked, just, we need to get her. You're right. Party on. And then you're like,
exactly, dude. Oh, I wish I had put a Wayne's World quote on the soundboard.
Hi, Wayne.
Hi. How long till we get a good Star Wars thing? What do you think? Oh, I made a huge error. I made a critical error.
Or too.
I didn't put our outro music on the soundboard.
I'll
have to edit it in later. Firmware update, reset everything. Just about.
Back to the polka party.
Back to the polka party, man.
All right.
Well,
we hope you guys are enjoying
I hope you
Acolyte.
like it, and if you disagree with us, please tell us, because I'm happy to have discourse about it.
Yeah, I'm opening. Yeah, I feel like even just talking through it today, I feel a half step better. Like, there is still some storylines there. Everything's kind of falling flat so far, but
there is still something to be said, though, is like the impact of the storyline didn't hit me from just watching it. I had to like analyze the entire 2 episodes in order to be like, oh, there's some interesting threads and I'm curious where they go, so I'm going to buy in. Whereas like first episode of Ahsoka and first arc of Andor, I was like, you got me. I'm
Yep,
in.
I get it.
I don't even need to overanalyze it. I'm in. It didn't pull me. I have to like talk myself into it, which is always a problem.
And that's, I know we already said it, but they could have started this the same way they started Andor. He's in a shit situation. Osha's in a shit situation. Something goes awry, they're wanted. Launch. Jedi find Osha. What are you doing? Are you killing fuckers? No, I'm not.
Definitely am.
No, I'm not.
And I'm gonna kill you too.
I was at work. Checked in last night. All right. Well, let's go find your sister. What? She's still alive?
No, she's not.
She's not.
It's you.
It's always been. Somehow Palpatine's your
Somehow
sister.
Palpatine returned.
All right. Well,
Thanks,
we love
guys.
you. Glad to be back, and we'll see what the fuck happens.
Hi.
I'll cut it in. Sorry.